Footlick Abdi, Danny Boy here, and welcome back to the same episode of Transport Fever 2 again. I noticed that the previous Great Western Railways drive-by, the quality when it was uploaded onto YouTube was pretty bad. Now, we'll be jumping on this Great Western Railways Class 43 again. We'll get it rolling, and then I will explain what happened. So this is departing Penzance, heading for London. But yeah, so lately I've been, we'll see, what's a good word for this? Tampering. Yes, tampering with the settings in OBS for recording at 4K and sort of 2K. It's something I've dabbled with and messed about with in the past, but for some reason, the last three videos I did, this one, the Great Western Railways drive-by, and a Vauxhall Tycoon episode, and the next episode from this, which is a drive-by on the LNER East Coast Main Line from Aberdeen to London. The quality was really bad, and then I was pulling my hair out, extremely annoyed because I could not understand what it was I changed. I actually have all my settings written down, and I noticed that the rescale output on OBS was checked, which it should not be, because you don't want it to rescale this whilst it's recording. You want to do that later in other software like Sony Vegas, etc. Sort of downscale it from the 2K, which I play at, to 1080p, which seems to render a lot quicker and seems to be much better. It seems to be the preferred sort of output for YouTube. So that was causing really bad issues. It was making, especially this part, the driving on board part, extremely blurry and pixelated. Whereas when you're in third person view, it looked totally fine. So when I checked it, it actually looked fine in Sony Vegas, but once it was rendered, it was even more terrible. So I decided to re-record it because it's not nice leaving videos that are pretty horrific up on your channel. So I deleted the old video, so I do apologise to those of you who watched it, etc. Wasted time watching it because it looked so bad. And someone actually commented as well, Big Smoke, and I do apologise. I should have replied to that comment first. He was looking for the map seed, which I will copy and link in the description of this video. So Big Smoke, if you are watching, the map location on Steam Workshop, I'll leave the link for it in the description so that you can get it, because this map is available on Steam and everyone should have access to it. So here we go, round 2, Penzance to London on the Class 43. Hopefully this should look a lot better. I will do a little render test to make sure everything is looking fine, because the other one was really bad. Sometimes I forget to change things back. I did not even realise that I had checked the rescale option, which it was trying to rescale things down from 2K to 1080p when I actually wanted stuff to be recorded in 2K. But hey ho, it is what it is. This video here will redeem the previous video. So, and it's nice to have things looking nice and not weird and blurry. I am also going to re-record the London North Eastern Railways East Coast Main Line video as well, because that suffered the same consequences as the Great Western Railways one did. So here we are at Plymouth again. I suspect that about 1,000,000% of the Class 43s on this Great Western Railways route are down at the London side, probably stuck in traffic, which is a shame. But we're coming to the end. I can't even remember what I was talking about in the previous gameplay. Normally when I do these drive-bys, it's like 40 minutes of just pure nonsense, because that's all I have to speak about for these drive-bys. I might do some in the future where it's just the noise of the train and the countryside with me nuts speaking over the top of it. I mean, some of these trains, definitely the Class 43 has got its own unique sound that sounds really good. You hear the sort of generator, the power plant sort of powering up, it's got that whine. Sounds really good. It's not got the whine now because we've stopped. So we'll be waiting for this Voyager, this Class 220, to vacate the area, and then we shall be continuing on. But yeah, I did suspect something was wrong as well. When I was recording the LNER East Coast mainline, the game got super laggy as a result of the OBS trying to rescale as it was recording. So that was bad. But now we're good again, which is marvellous. So, update as well on the new system is almost complete. Graphics card may be in hand sometime next week, so that'll be nice. I am fingers crossed it's going to be plug and play. It is an Asus graphics card, but everything else is Asus. The AIO, the motherboard, the power supply. The RAM isn't, obviously, but I don't think Asus does RAM, but they are sort of branching out onto everything else on the planet. I mean, the Asus power supply is basically, I think it's just a rebranded, is it Corsair or NZXT? It's something. I do believe it does say on the box what it is. There's the dynamic lines, or one of our dynamic lines trains, rolling past. And there she goes. Yeah, but hopefully it's just going to be there'll probably be a few things for me to set up. Probably some NVIDIA drivers to install. We do love an NVIDIA driver update. There's probably some Windows updates to install. And I think everyone hates a Windows update, especially when it forces updates onto the system without your knowledge, and then it sort of screws up your settings and things that have nothing to do with Windows. Yay. My favourite. My favourite thing about Windows updates. That's normally, now this is weird, I have seen in forums this happening to other people, that when they do Windows updates, their OBS settings for recordings get completely sort of screwed over. Like it resets all the settings to when you first download it, which is a real pest. That hasn't happened in mine in a while, but it has happened several times. That's why every time there's a Windows update, I purposefully go on OBS and check that the settings are all good. Normally I always do a quick check before I go to record anything, but the check to rescale output box went a total miss for me. There was something in there, a tiny little detail that I did not notice, and it was then resulted in screwing up 3 recordings, so that was a real shame. The Vauxhall Tycoon episode actually didn't suffer that bad due to the output scaling, but when it was zoomed in, it looked totally fine, normal, 1080p, great. When you zoomed out to a further distance, it looked pretty awful, which is a real shame. But we should all be good now. This should come out nicely. I pray that it does, because this actually takes a long time to record these. Again, as in the previous deleted episode, this Great Western Railways train to Barnstaple is just sort of hanging out to the left hand side of this station. Again. It would have been nice to see it sort of rolling along its track there, up above, and there it goes, leaving again. So it's kind of a snap. There's a plane up above, there's a Class 800 here. That is not the trainbow, so that's like a snap as well, really. Because I'm pretty sure there was a Class 800 rolled into Exeter Station at the exact same time in the in the previous episode, the one that was deleted. There we go. There's some weird... Oh, you're leaving. Goodbye, my friend. Well, we are actually quite a fair distance in front of this train. As before, no one actually boards it. It's not a train for boarding. Well, 14 people did, according to the bottom left. The next stop is Milesby. The next stop is actually Reading. And then we should have a sort of nice scenic route through the valleys to get there. Obviously, Reading, I'm going to say second most congested station on this map. Probably. In fact, I definitely say that it is. Can we get a green light, please? There we go. ES692. The serial number of that signal, but that's apparently the serial number of all the signals. Because it would be kinda crazy, it would be absolutely insane if the modder actually changed every single serial number for every single signal that you placed. There we go, there's the standard green Great Western Railways rolling in there. A few people on there. So that's 2 trains, 3 trains this side of the map. Okay. Well, that's actually better than it was before. But I do know for a fact that there is a train just in front of this one. It's probably a fair distance in front now because there's no stations. It's probably perhaps maybe at Reading. So it looks like these potentially may have spaced out a little better. There's the other Class 800, the NHS one. So you're not very well spaced out because the other Class 800 just left. Unless it's a Class 800 from a different line, which it may be. I do like that one. I do like delivery, the NHS one. We are going to be branching off to the right here. And then we should head pretty unimpeded up the hill, through the valleys, down the other side, into Reading. Which is nice that this train actually has a separate line, so that it doesn't go to Bristol or Swindon or anywhere like that. It sort of cruises just sort of south. Which is awesome. Now, what is this? Ah, it's the cross-country train. Penzance to Aberdeen, or Aberdeen to Penzance on that train's case. So it's been rolling for a long time to get to its destination. Ooh, we've got Western Supermare as well, just there on the left hand side, but we bypassed that. Again, the limitations of the map. The south end of the UK has been compressed extremely, so towns like Weston-super-Mare are like super close to Exeter on this map, when in real life it's a fair distance to go south from Weston-super-Mare to Exeter. Never been there. In fact, I don't think I've been to Brighton. This is the only place south on the south coast of England that I've actually been. I would like to go to Penzance. That would be nice. A couple of my friends did do the like sort of Penzance, the top to tail Land's End to John O'Groats. They did that drive. I mean, I do not know if that would be a nice drive. If anyone in the comments has done it, let me know. Is it a nice drive? I mean, if I was to go on a driving holiday, I would go back to Vegas and do Route 66. I think. Although I'm not a great fan of sand. So I've worked too many times in the desert. My love of sand is gone. When I go on holiday with my girlfriend, she's like, "Oh yes, look at that nice. The sunshine is out. There's a nice sandy beach," and it's like, yeah, I don't want to go to the beach. Not a fan of sand. Which is odd because I used to do a lot of surfing when I was younger. I used to love the beach. Now I hate it for some reason. I'd rather stay at the sort of pool at the hotel. Well, there's obviously access to a bar, and you don't end up with sandy crack or just sand everywhere. Man, sand is so annoying. And when you're working in the desert as well, you will learn to despise and loathe sand fairly quickly. It just gets everywhere. Taking a drink of water that you desperately need because you need to keep hydrated when you're in the desert becomes an awful task because you know that your mouth is full of sand and grit. It's like under the bottle cap. It's just everywhere. It's like how is this happening? And that's on a nice day. If you get caught in a sandstorm, man, it's hell. It really is. So, Brighton, the only place I've been to in the south. Been to London many times. But yeah, would like to see the south coast of England. It's nice to explore the world, but it's nice to explore places closer to home as well. I'm trying to actually figure out where we are. I think that we're just coming up the hill. I am actually wondering if this train will hit 100 miles per hour. It is coming to a downhill section, so I would imagine that it probably would. This may be... This train might actually get to its top speed. Unless I've added some sort of hellish corners up ahead in which the train will have to slow down. But it's still going. It's probably going to slow down for this turn over here. Maybe should have made it slightly more smoother. Or it might be okay actually. We're still increasing speed. 98. 99. 100. Now you see what I was saying before. This train is doing 100 miles per hour, but it does not feel like it in this. It feels like it's going like, I don't know, 50? Maybe half the speed of 100. I mean, when I look at the planes up above, they are flying around smoothly. The other trains are passing smoothly. There's no stutter or lag. There is a tiny bit that I can notice. I don't know if you guys can notice, but the train is running smoothly. It just seems slower than it should be. Like we should be tearing past that signal, tearing past that tunnel entrance. 160 miles per hour is pretty quick. Are we going to get more? I think we might. Come on, get up to 125. There's a junction up here. 117. 118. 108. Yeah, it's slowing down for joining on this line here. This line that goes from Reading to the south. That's a shame. What was it? 118, 119? It's still pretty decent. It may perhaps hold the record for the highest top speed of a train on this map. possibly. Now we go heading into Reading though. Reading should be just round this corner, and we shall see what chaos awaits. Because the station is fairly busy. Now the reason we've gone west to east is that heading from west to east, going through Reading is not too bad. However, coming from the London side, coming from the east, it's really bad because there's a lot of trains queued up just waiting to get into Reading station. But on the way through here from west to east, it should be fine. We're going to jump on the Class 47 as well that goes from Cardiff to Southampton. Now in that train we will actually jump on at Cardiff as well and sort of head southeast rather than heading sort of northwest towards Cardiff, because again it's one of those stations where it's easy for trains to leave but it's difficult for them to get in, which is kind of stupid, but that's how it works, especially in the Cardiff side, because they have to deal with quite a lot of freight trains to sort of pass in order to get into Cardiff station, whereas on the way out they don't. The freight trains just sort of move, they sort of free flow without any hindrance. There we go, there's the gold stripe. We are actually missing a train, a Dynamic Lines version, First Great Western. And I am presently worried that it is probably stuck in traffic just beyond this corner here. Although there doesn't seem to be anything waiting, so everything might be stuck trying to get into London, London Paddington. Which is cool. I have been watching, so the guy who made King's Cross and London Euston, Sell Me, he has been doing his own series, sort of building up London, etc. It looks awesome. He's putting a lot of work into it. When the finished article is done, it's probably going to be pretty breathtaking. I have also watched, and I forget his name, the guy that does like city building, and he built Paris. And that as well, the amount of detail that has gone into it is truly phenomenal. And I think it took him something like just over 7 months or something to build the whole of Paris. And what he's actually built looks spectacular. It's absolutely amazing. He is actually going to put the map onto the Steam Workshop. And he did say that he'd used a lot of mods. Obviously you need the same mods as the person. If a map creator such as this has placed assets in the world, in the map, and they're modded, you must subscribe or at least have those mods as well. Now he did say that he used some transportfever.net mods, which it's slightly more difficult to, unlike Steam where you just click the subscribe button and then you go on to Transport Fever, you enable the mod, you load up your save game, you start a new game, et voila, that mod is there. Transportfever.net is slightly different, so it's the old school download, unzip the files, select the files that you need, add them to your Steam mods folder for Transport Fever 2, and then you will be able to go into mods, enable them, and fire them onto your save game if it is compatible with save games, or a new game if you're starting something afresh. So it'll be interesting because you can obviously, when you download stuff on Steam, it tells you need this mod as required. I would imagine because it's a save game, when you go to load the game, there will be the list of the mods that were enabled. There will be the exclamation mark, the red danger sign saying you don't have this enabled, you don't have this. And for the Steam ones, it will just simply be a case of clicking on them, going to the mod author's page and on the workshop and subscribing to them. And then voila, they are ready to rock and roll. They should be good to go. However, I don't know how that is going to work for TransportFever.net mods. It does tell you at the side whether it's a mod that is downloaded from Steam or another source. So you'd possibly be able just to just copy and paste the mod title into TransportFever.net and it would bring you to that mod page. Download it, unzip it, move it across, and voila, you are good to go. But we'll see. I'd love to check it out. It looks absolutely amazing. The work he's put into it. I've actually watched them all. It's a real masterclass as well, and it's a bit like for the guy that did Paris and Sell Me, for people who would like to sort of get into high detailing. I noticed Grand T has been doing high detailing on his Scottish Central belt as well, which looks really good. Some of the stuff he's building looks incredibly accurate for the area, and it's good. And as you do more high detailing, the sort of second nature and better you'll get it. You will have things that you build first, and some of the first things you sort of decorate and you go, oh man, that looks awful, and you will never be happy with it until you get really good at it, and then you sort of just bang things in and everything looks ace. Right, so that Great Western has arrived. We are at London Paddington. I think Selmy did say that he was going to try and mod some of the other London stations as well. He did say that some of them are extremely complicated and they aren't ones that you could really build yourself. A bit like maybe something like Edinburgh Station. Edinburgh Station is incredibly, well, strange because it's got Edinburgh Castle right next to it, and it's literally built into the side of a cliff face. So it'd be incredibly difficult to sort of remake that station in real life. Right, here is Cardiff, where there are negatory on trains there. There is a train here about to arrive. I think this is the one we jumped on before. The Great Western. I think it's got the frog on set at the back. It has. We'll sort of zigzag our way back here. Yeah, see, freight train waiting to get in. This one isn't actually too bad. There's probably a billion trains just round this corner here. I would stake my life on there being a large amount of trains stuck around that corner. This coal train shouldn't be stuck. I mean, there's a lot happening up here. You can see a lot of trains there. Train 155, train 169, there's another one there, one here. They're all trying to get to places and they can't really get there. So here's another class 47. So this one has been waiting for a while because this one here has got something I need to do as well, and it's been annoying me for a while and I keep forgetting, is to do that. Change it to a red line. This Pendolino, this class 390 is going to be bailing out in front of us as well. It's quite a long number, the class 390s. There is a shorter version. I don't think there's a Great Western Railways shorter version. I think it's only in TransPennine, and maybe a couple of the Virgins have the shorter makeup, the shorter consist. But we'll jump on board with this guy. He will be about turning and leaving. Hopefully in short order. Hopefully not too long. I do like the Class 47s as well. They are awesome. The lights are super bright, but I believe that is a byproduct of swapping over to the Vulkan graphics mod, because the lights were not as wild as that previously. 47830. I would imagine quite a few Class 47s were built. This one is obviously 830, so that's a lot. It's almost 1,000. There we go. And 47832. So our Class 47 here, departing the station. Next stop will be Bristol Temple Meads, across the river. And then we shall be heading onwards to Southampton. And we'll be done. The re-recording of this will be complete. Kind of a disaster, really. I am kind of sad that the first recording did not work out as intended. Which is a shame. Now that DRS mainline train there that just went past, that would have been nice to jump on board as well. Alas, it's another one that gets stuck heavily in traffic. Not just at this side, but at the sort of west side of Cardiff as well. So here is Thor, the Class 47, first Great Western in the white livery. It's odd that it's named Thor, but there's not really any sort of nameplate or anything for it. I think there is a nameplate. I think it's perhaps on the other side of the train. I think it would have some sort of cool paint job, some sort of cool decals on the side. Maybe a Thor's hammer with some lightning or something. But no, it's just white. Transport for Wales, Class 180 there. The Adelante. Other Class 390. Heading into the mosh pit that is Cardiff. Not in real life. Pretty sure Cardiff's a really nice place, but it's quite literally real bad. It's hell on this map. So across the bridge we go. I really do like the suspension bridges. They look really nice. I like this bridge over here as well. I can't remember where this bridge is from. I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. It's from a Chinese bridge mod pack, I think. But yeah, it looks fantastic. Standard Great Western Railways in green there. Now that's a testament to what I was talking about. So obviously a couple of Class 47s are queuing up to sort of get from Bristol to Southampton. But when we leave Cardiff and head to Southampton, it's smooth sailing. There ain't very much things in the way, which is nice. There's another one. So there are 4 of these on the line, and 3 of them are behind us attempting to get into Cardiff. There we go. Great Western. What is the name of this again? I keep forgetting. There's a special name for that livery and I keep forgetting what it actually is. Right, we are currently stopped here. There's an invisible train driver there, so there is actually a train just in front of us. Yeah, it's Class 800 going to Bristol. That train is heading for Cardiff as well. It just heads in a different direction, which is nice because this crossing that bridge we just crossed would be a nightmare if all the trains were trying to get into Cardiff from that direction. Looks like we are good to go. We are currently passing the worst junction in Transport Fever history. But as the rule of thumb goes, you can have terrible junctions in tunnels because we go with the age-old golden rule of ignorance is bliss. Out of sight, out of mind. We can't see it from the outside, therefore it does not affect us. Only when we go on drive-bys like these do we then shine a light on some of the more hideous aspects of the map. Right, other class, it's class 800. Where's the trainbow? Class 800, I've not seen it. Or is this the trainbow? We'll soon find out. It is not. It's standard green. That's fine. Oh. This First Great Western Dynamic Line's 377 in front. Is that what it is? You can just barely see it from here. We kind of need that to leave post-haste, so that we can leave post-haste. There we go. Crazy lady in straight jacket. Matrix walking down the stairs. Other one, other two, other three. It's just the women. Why did the women... The men all walk completely normal. The women have this, like, this weird side step. What is happening with your arms? It looks terrible. Oh my god. See this guy? This casually dressed fella with his suit jacket and shirt and weird brown jeans. See, he's walking normal. But we are off, heading for Southampton. Final destination. Final destination. So there's actually... No, this is actually quite a fair distance from Bristol to Southampton. Obviously we're bypassing things like Swindon and Reading. We don't have to sort of go into these places, so it's kind of nice for the moment. No trains in front as well. Smooth, plain sailing. Always better to head this direction. It always seems a lot smoother. I mean, this would be a 2-hour long video if we were to jump on this train and the class 43 that we did previously, heading from east to west, because it would just be perpetually stuck behind something else. You go over the hill, past the iron ore mine. There's a train coming. Is there a... Nope, there is no train in there currently. It's probably stuck behind something, somewhere. Other Great Western Railways in green. Very nice. I do like that model. Is it a 377? What is it? I can't remember, but it is a nice model. So round we go. We should branch off presently. Lots of planes in the sky as well. I don't know if you guys noticed them during the drive-bys. I always do, and I think it just adds that. It makes things just a little bit more authentic. Maybe not the amount of planes that I have in this map, but yeah, it's nice to have them sort of flying past. It sort of gives you the impression that you are actually near an area where there are large airports. I mean, there's literally tons beside London. Gatwick, Heathrow, Stansted, Luton. Lots of airports. Heavy flight traffic, so it's nice to see that flight traffic going past. Right under the bridge we go, no class 43s going past the bridge. Now, that's unfortunate. I do like this green bridge, and it does actually give you pillars. See, pillars, which are nice. A lot of the bridge mods do give you pillars, but they're really far spaced out. They're few and far between, and it sometimes makes them look odd, like they're just defying gravity and the laws of physics have just been launched out the window. But some of them do space out the pillars really well, and they look fantastic. So there's a depot there. I do see Southwestern Railways trains in front, which is a sign that we are approaching Southampton. There we go. Southern trains there as well. And we've got an autosave. Right, we shall leave it there for that episode, the re-upload. Hopefully it should be in a much better quality than it was previously. I do apologise for that. I did feel that I needed to come back and re-record it so that it looked much better. But yeah, we'll leave it there for that episode. As always, if you did watch this and you would like to leave a like, comment or dislike, please feel free to do so. And if there's more you would like to see in the future, then hit the subscribe button. I've been Danny Boy, this has been Transport Fever 2 on the UK map, and I will catch you later.